Hello, in this presentation, I'll be discussing my project which explores medium input IPDM or Integrated Pest and Disease Management for smallholder wet bin cocoa farmers in Papua New Guinea. This is the outline of the presentation. Now, the cocoa industry in PNG is dominated by more than 150,000 smallholder wet bin farmers who depend much on it for economic sustenance. Now, these farmers, they play an important role in PNG's agriculture economy, supplying around 96% of the total 36,000 tons of dry bin cocoa that is exported annually, while the plantation sector account for around 4%. Now, despite its importance to the economy, the industry faces several production challenges due to pests and diseases, the traditional clones that farmers are currently planting or using, high production costs, labor, farmers' health and well-being, and there are other several issues as well. However, production could have increased substantially if improved cocoa clones or seedlings and improved management techniques that is recommended by CCI or the Cocoa and Coconut Institute are used or adopted. Now, according to studies by Konam et al. And Kene et al., yield potential can reach up to more than 1,000 to 2,000 kilograms per hectare compared to the 200 to 300 kilograms per hectare that is currently produced by smallholder farmers. And that is possible if improved seedlings and clones together with improved management technologies are used or adopted. The two photos at the top right shows CCI recommended seedlings from hybrid seeds produced by hand pollination, and the photos at the bottom shows clones that have been grown from buds or grafts onto seedlings and are identical to the mother tree. Now, in 2011, the Integrated Pest and Disease Management, or the IPDM, was introduced to help smallholder farmers manage pests and diseases, especially the cocoa pod borer, more effectively and sustainably. However, the adoption of the IPDM was very low due to the high cost and intense labor involved, because farmers could not afford the high cost or the labor that is involved in all the levels of the IPDM. Now, a study by Swan et al. In 2026 found out that the medium level IPDM out of the other input levels to be viable, although profitability remains negative when labor was costed. However, with the one-talk labor reciprocity not paid in cash, it was profitable. It was found to be profitable. Now, one-talk labor reciprocity is a Melanesian cultural system practiced within communities, tribes, or extended families in which support or good deeds that are offered are not in monetary terms, but with the understanding that the gesture will be reciprocated in the future. Now, this study will explore the economic benefits of medium input IPDM, incorporating one-talk labor and trenching. So trenching here is a practice that manages cocoa pod borer infestation and also improves nutrients in the soil through the bearing of deceased or bed pods. Now, to find out about the economic benefits of incorporating medium level IPDM, trenching, and one-talk labor, the study will use cost-benefit analysis and gross margin budgets. Now, the aim of the project, as mentioned in the first slide, is to estimate the net benefits and the internal rate of return when incorporating medium input IPDM, trenching, and one-talk labor. And the second aim is to develop extension information in the form of budgeting tools to assist extension workers disseminate information to smallholder wet bin farmers in two scenarios. So number one is in the case where a cocoa block is to be rehabilitated, and number two is in the case where a new cocoa block is to be established. Now, the research plan and methodology of this project. In the cost-benefit analysis, the research will evaluate medium-level IPDM, incorporating trenching and uncosted one-talk labor over the life of cocoa trees, that is 30 years, by calculating costs, benefits, net present value, and the internal rate of return. Now, yield to calculate the cost-benefit analysis will be sourced from Ryan and Skada et al. Labor hours data will be sourced from studies by Skada et al. And Swan et al. And wet bin price will be sourced from PNG Cocoa Board. Now, for the case of farm budgets, the research will develop budgeting tools that will assist extension workers to disseminate information to wet bin farmers who have existing blocks or who wants to establish new cocoa blocks. So the budgeting tools will include a calendar of operations, and data that is required to develop this calendar of operations will be sourced from Cocoa Extension Manual and from Skada et al. Variable costs data will be derived from CBA, or cost benefit analysis, and yield estimates will be triangulated with data in the Cocoa Extension Manual. And then the sensitivity analysis will be conducted to test how yield, discount rate, and wet bin prices changes affects profitability. Now, for the net farm income, fixed costs will be derived from cost benefit analysis. Other fixed costs like costs for tools will be derived from Swan et al. Household expenditure data will be derived from IFPRI's 2023 PNG Rural Household Survey Report and from Burke and Harhood, and then that will calculate what the net farm income will be. So the study is expected to produce 4 outcomes. Number 1 is to produce information and budgeting tools that will support extension workers who are assisting smallholder cocoa farmers. And outcome 2 is to show a detailed calendar of operation and demonstrate labor hours, sanitation, pruning, trenching, and harvesting. Outcome 3 is to show how annual household cash flow and the ability to cover household expenditure, and to produce a sensitivity analysis on yield estimates. And outcome 4 is to show whether the combination of medium level IPDM and trenching becomes profitable under the one-talk labor. Now, this is the proposed timeline for the project that is broken into 4 key phases, starting from March to the first week of August. So phase 1 focuses on developing the research proposal. Between weeks 3 and 6, the written proposal and oral presentation is expected to be finalized. The second phase covers research review, which includes literature review, extracting data from existing files, calculating discounted costs and benefits, evaluating results, and preparing interpretation for extension offices. And this will take about 5 weeks to complete. The third phase is the development of the research paper. So during this period, data will be cleaned, organized, and analyzed, which will include gross margins, discounted costs and benefits, and sensitivity analysis. The research paper is expected to take 9 to 7 weeks to complete. And finally is the research communication. This is expected to be done in the first week of August 2026. This is the end of the presentation. The reference list here is what's used in the presentation. So, thank you.